Hey guys, just a reminder, it's male manipulator summer. We are in the middle of it.
I think it's nice out, so I'm going to show you my favorite thing to do on a Sunday in New York City.
Never done one of these before. Should I do one of these?
All right, here it is. Without further ado, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we have loloverruled Alex Peter in the building. Hello. TikTok heartthrob, public defender, loves crime and criminals and getting them out of going to prison and jail. Today as hell today because of something related to Twitter. Have you checked Hostwit recently? No, I don't have Twitter on my phone, and therefore I do not look at Twitter when I'm not live. If it's related to Alex Lolo, then that's not drama. That's like straightforward creep shit. Okay, if that's what you guys are referencing as drama, you're a psycho. That's not drama at all.
Morning. My name is Alex Clavering. I'm a staff attorney with the LGBTQ+ Advocacy Project.
In late July of 2025, a flurry of allegations thrust longtime Hasan Piker friend, associate, and contributor Alex Clavering into the spotlight, levying accusations of sexual harassment and other unethical and grimy behavior at the New York-based attorney. Clavering, who also goes by his internet handle loloverruled or Alex Peter, was fairly well known and respected until the deluge of accusations against him, rising to the rank of internet micro-celebrity on TikTok. On that platform, he leveraged his occupation and training as a public defender in Manhattan into a career providing lay education on the legal system and advocacy for leftist causes.
What did he do? You better not do that, Mr. President. He did what? Oh.
Clavering built fame and no small degree of notoriety through his channel, eventually attracting the attention of socialist celebrity influencer Hasan Piker. A stream clip on the Hasanabi YouTube channel from May 22nd, 2023 introduces Clavering as the real-life Better Call Saul. From that point, Clavering would become a staple in Hasan's community, becoming the 6th best recurring Hasan guest in an informal Reddit community poll, going out to protests with Hasan, staying as a guest in his house, and even spending the holidays streaming together in Los Angeles. Clavering built a massive platform, 877,000 subscribers on TikTok, though that number was over 900,000 when the scandal broke, through his own efforts, but also in no small part thanks to numerous appearances on Hasan Piker's Twitch livestream. The broadcast, Hasanabi, boasts a subscribership of nearly 3 million and has a routine live viewership in the tens of thousands. During major events, that number can rise well over 100,000, and participation in a single Hasanabi stream can have a life-changing impact on a smaller streamer's career. And while Piker has been generous with his platform to numerous people, the internet's largest leftist streamer is also known for being petty, easy to anger,
was being even a little bit honest. They would recognize the reality that, listen, just listen.
You didn't listen to my question.
Listen to what I'm saying, and you will understand perhaps what I'm trying to imply here.
That's very patronizing.
Utilizing the hostages. Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the fuck you are, and you're over here chirping all the way from fucking London about Palestine and doing a both sides are fucking fine type bullshit where you're talking about how you want to fucking free Palestine, but also simultaneously, you know, both sides got a lot going on. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything, okay? I don't give a shit about what your perspective is.
I agree. Hasan doesn't like what you have to say, so you're wrong.
Vindictive, self-absorbed.
It is so insane to do a...
I mean, can we really say that somebody who was displaced from Donetsk, right? It's insane to interview that Ukrainian refugee about what Western commentators say. Is that really that insane? I just can't wrap my mind around it.
It basically betrays the position that you have. Like, oh, I genuinely care about this. That's why I went out there, not because I'm like a fucking war tourist pervert.
I'm a pervert. Oh my God.
For those of you who said, chat, has he responded to Dylan Burns' post, by the way, before getting clapped? If you think that I would entertain such a psychotic thing ever in my life, I don't know what to tell you. There is nothing more perverted and psychopathic than literally putting Ukrainian people in Ukraine that are being fucking bombed, okay, by an invading force that is unjustifiably occupying their country, making Ukrainians sit down and fucking watch my clips out of fucking context in a way that you have framed it, to have them go, oh wow, how fucked up, fuck this guy. It is literally the most unimaginably insane thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It completely betrays how much you care about the conflict that you are covering.
That's true. I don't
on the
care.
ground. It's nasty as fuck.
Nasty. Psychopathic, unbelievable, nasty.
It's such a weird psychopathic thing to do.
Psychopathic, nasty, unthinkable. My God.
And for having a rabid fan base even he can't keep from harassing other creators who end up on his bad side.
But then I got a DM from someone who actually happened to be black, and she said, Hassan's totally trashing you. I'm like, she says, for the record, I don't think you did anything wrong. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's Hassan? That was the first time I'd heard the name Hassan Piker, when he went after me and called me a femcel over a video game. And I had people who didn't know me from anyone tracking me down on Facebook to tell me I was racist over Facebook Messenger. And it was, well, I feel you are a racist. Why do you think I am a racist? Because I feel that you are. That was the argument. These weren't people that watched my content. These are people that watched Hassan Abi's $2 million golden goose through harassment. It was totally recontextualized, totally taken out of context. It was mob rule. Okay, Hassan, you don't think I'm hot. I get it. You don't think I'm fuckable. Like, I've never heard that from some asshole before. Like, really? And I admit, because good old Hassan is big on going after my fuckability, I put on a little more makeup than I would have for this stream, because, oh God, can't be ugly on the internet, can't be unfuckable when you're having opinions. But, you know, the Young Turks has a zero tolerance policy for sexual harassment.
It's for this reason that Piker's ultimate disavowal of Clavering, a statement that can be clipped down to just over 4 minutes long, rings hollow. It's a self-absorbed statement that, while paying lip service to the unnamed victims, mostly serves as warning to his viewership against letting his enemies turn the situation into a trap to be used against him.
I assume that people will try to make, try to tie this back to myself somehow and, actually turn it into drama when this is not drama. This is serious shit. But I'm going to obviously continue talking about the news. And you should also lock in as well. Don't eat the bait. I think a lot of people also don't understand that, things that other communities try to, elevate and in a specific direction, when they're serious allegations, serious accusations, but when people try to take serious allegations and accusations and turn them into content for themselves, right? That's only as that can only turn into drama or content for clicks if you allow it.
Piker offers no solutions, makes no substantial criticism of Clavering or his actions, and ends his statement essentially suggesting that any further exploration of the situation relative to him is akin to aiding individuals like Ethan Klein of H3H3 Productions or Stephen Destiny Bennell against him. For members of Piker's audience, this is akin to suggesting you're unwittingly aiding a Nazi or a pedophile Nazi, respectively. Essentially, this statement barely brushes the surface about what should be said about Clavering, while reinforcing the power imbalances that allowed Clavering, and men like him, such as another former friend to Piker turned a notorious internet sex criminal, the aforementioned Stephen Destiny Bennell, to harm women. Bennell, since the breaking of the scandal, is one of the few massive internet figures to be supportive of Clavering, suggesting the allegations are overblown or insubstantial. Meanwhile, one of the women victimized by Clavering, Andra Berghoff, known online as I Hope You Find Your Dad, said it's this pernicious fear of vindictive men with large platforms that prevented her, in this case, from speaking out sooner.
And yeah, I was also scared of upsetting a very beloved man with a huge platform because we've seen what they can do when they get angry and start lying. Anyways, here's what happened with me. He's very large, obviously. I followed him and Hassan for a while. I really looked up to them. I was pretty excited when he followed me back. And he even went to my Instagram and followed me back. And as you can see, like, I have a lot of friends that are friends with him. We work in the same industry. This is a very awkward situation that happened. And then sometime later, even though he's 34 years old, he did the high school boy thing where he went through and liked a couple photos of me in a bikini and then said nothing. And I noticed it, but I ignored it. I was like, maybe he's just being supportive, okay? Then one day I wake up, my alarm goes off at 11:30 every day because I'm up until like 5 a.m. working on stuff, whatever. And I see that he has messaged me earlier around 9 a.m. saying, do I have to DM slide? Is that how I hit on you? And I'm like screaming, I don't know what to do. I call up one of my friends who knows him and I'm like, I don't know how to respond. Like, how do I not make this awkward, not make him feel embarrassed, right? Because we all are attending the same events and stuff. So if I have to run into him, like, what do I say? We're trying to conjure up a very polite response at this point, but it's too late. Only a few minutes have gone by and he just goes, yeesh, sorry, LOL. Realistically, it's probably been like 5-6 minutes I'll give you since I read this message because I do other stuff on my phone before I open up IG. But also, sir, you sent that message around 9 a.m. You've been sitting here checking constantly for hours to see if I've read the message. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not sure how to respond to that, sorry. And he goes, my bad, have a great day. And then he unliked all the photos that he had liked. The whole interaction was weird, uncomfy, and disappointing, especially from like an influencer whose friend group I've looked up to for so long. But that's not how you address and speak to women. And to get like weirdly worked up that I didn't immediately respond, I could have been like making breakfast. I guess maybe that's an admission that he kind of knew that this was strange for a 34-year-old.
While Berghoff aired some praise for Piker's response, Angela Baker, known online as Park Rose Permaculture, suggests men like Piker shouldn't be considered allies to women just because of their ostensibly leftist positions.
Oh yeah, he said that, and it's not an outlier for him.
Doing one good thing, which is that, like, if you have these fucking millionaire, billionaire WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is, like, in some respects, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like, taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society.
Does that answer your question thoroughly? When I say that men on the left are not safe, this is precisely what I mean. Even the ones you think are real babely, even the ones with huge platforms, honestly, like maybe especially those, the ones whose goal is to have their Dude Bro podcast. Men on the left frequently get there because they're pissed off at the way capitalism is fucking them over. They gain some class consciousness. They're not there because the patriarchy hurt them. They're not there because white supremacy hurt them. They're there because capitalism hurt them. When I talk about the trifecta of systemic oppression that is fucking everybody in this country, because white supremacy and the patriarchy, they hurt men as well, white men as well. So absolutely, it's fucking all of us. But so many men who move to the political left are there because they are only experiencing the negative impacts of capitalism and they are deconstructing from their belief in a capitalist imperialist system. There's absolutely no reason for a lot of them to deconstruct from the way the patriarchy benefits them. Same thing with white supremacy for white dudes. A man can be on the political left and be a misogynistic creep and a total shitbag. I'm not saying Hassan is a shitbag, but I am saying just because your favorite darling dude on the left is on the political left, that doesn't mean he's safe for women, and it doesn't mean that his shit doesn't stink.
I'll add here that Baker's commentary isn't remotely juxtaposed in opposition to Berghoff's statements on Piker himself. Rather, I'll suggest Berghoff's praise is completely valid, because the bar is in hell for leftist men taking action against other leftist men when it comes to misogyny and even sex crimes in our political spaces. Take, for instance, the way Ian Vosh Kaczynski, another well-known, massive leftist streamer, reacted to viewers suggesting he covered Benel's sex pest controversy from early 2025.
Do you have any comment on the Pixie lawsuit on Destiny? Yeah, people keep telling me about it. I guess my comment is, did you know that there's a presidential inauguration today? Governor of New Jersey sent letter to Trump asking Trump to help him fight congestion pricing. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Contrast this with the reaction he has to the T app, a dating safety whisper network that allows women to share information on mutual male acquaintances in the hope of avoiding creeps, pests, and possibly murderers.
ability to access public records, sex offender maps, or criminal history to assess if your date is safe to meet up with in real life. Listen, unironic. Listen, I'm putting my foot down here for the future of the Western birth rate. Okay, I think it's normal to go on dates with people without running an extensive professional level background check on them first. In my opinion, I think that's crazy surveillance state shit, no matter how well-intentioned it might seem from the outside. And I know there are some instances where women would have benefited from this information. I'm not denying that at all. But as a rule, that's crazy.
My ultimate point here is better than is not actually sufficient when it comes to responses to these issues. The problem being that men like Piker, worried about the impact to himself, are willing to be either ignorant or indifferent to the damage his actions have permitted to occur. He has every ability to platform the victims, to compel Clavering onto his stream to answer for what happened, and even to publicly boycott Clavering and anybody who works alongside Clavering until the victims are returned to a sense of equity. There are solid, concrete steps Hassan can take to do anything at all about something. One of the few things that fall under his political umbrella he actually has power over, and he's doing nothing, which is unacceptable, and in my opinion, unforgivable, until he does something to fix the situation he started. It should also be said that, in addition to his milquetoast statement on the matter, Piker has outright lied to his audience, and possibly himself, about whether he had any idea about Clavering's behavior.
Alexander Loloverruled is here. You guys will see a bunch of people. There's no other chairs. You want to sit at the cuck chair? There's a second cuck chair here. This is the OG cuck chair, but you want to sit in the cuck chair? You can. Come sit in the cuck chair. What is this jacket that you're wearing? What is it? Oh my god, is it really? Yeah. Did I give this to you? Yeah. Oh, you stole my jacket? Yeah. Wait, what brand is it?
To really show just how impossible Hassan Piker's claim of being completely unaware of Alex Clavering's behavior is, we need to build a fuller picture of Clavering himself. While his occupation as a lawyer is generally well known, Clavering himself comes from a position of extreme privilege, attending law school at Columbia in New York City. Tuition for Columbia Law School is currently $93,757 per year, according to the college's website. But they further estimate the actual cost of attending, paying rent and buying food and books, at closer to $125,416 per year. And Clavering didn't start at a small state school and save for the big leagues. He obtained his undergraduate degree from the hyper-selective College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts, attending from 2009 through 2013. According to its website, Holy Cross allows only 2,800 students in total and is strictly for undergraduate studies. Base tuition is $68,090 per year, but the yearly cost of attendance is probably closer to $88,000 per year, or more depending on how you handle housing. Clavering did very well for himself at Holy Cross, joining a National Political Science Honor Society, Pi Sigma Alpha, of which Tom Brokaw and U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar are both members. He also managed to land 3 extremely valuable internships, the first in Congressman Steve Israel's district office in Hauppauge, New York from May to July 2011, for Senator John Kerry's Washington office in Washington, D.C. from August to December 2011, and finally, an internship at the White House from May to August 2013. There, he worked for 4 months in the Obama administration's White House Office of Presidential Correspondence. And he must have done a good job, because he spent 11 months of his first year after graduation as a J. William Fulbright Scholar for the U.S. State Department in Perak, Malaysia. Explained in a blurb on Clavering's LinkedIn, selected by the presidentially appointed 12-member J. William Fulbright Foreign Scholarship Board for the U.S. government's flagship international exchange program to serve as an educational/cultural ambassador for the U.S. in Malaysia. He led extracurricular activities, English-speaking workshops, and taught 8 English classes per week to over 150 students. Clavering would then go on to work for Google in Mountain View, California for a little over 2 years before starting law school in 2017 as a legal investigations associate. According to his LinkedIn, Clavering would analyze and process law enforcement requests and inquiries involving sensitive user data. He specialized in Google's YouTube and Blogger platforms, handling legal requests involving user protection and free speech issues, as well as acted on a smaller specialist team in child sexual abuse imagery-related legal requests, and additionally coordinated with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. From there, his career takes a more familiar route, including an internship at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and acting as executive director for the New York City March for Our Lives in February and March 2018. Clavering's roots aren't any more humble. From 2005 to 2009, Clavering attended Chaminade High School in Mineola, New York, on Long Island, a private all-boys Catholic high school that currently boasts an annual tuition rate of $18,250 in 2025. The median income in Mineola is about $116,000 per year. Clavering himself was raised on Long Island, and one of his oldest memories is being able to take the Long Island Railroad into New York City to see the Lion King musical with his mother when he was 10. This is recounted in his Substack blog, Vanishing Points, in a post titled, "I am not going to kill myself." Since the onset of allegations against Clavering, his Substack has become something of a fixture in the response pieces covering the situation. While his work and educational history can give us an idea of the resources at the man's disposal, what those resources were ultimately used to make paints something of a grim picture. Anybody familiar with Bret Easton Ellis will almost certainly draw allusions to his most notable work, American Psycho. In You Can't Fuck the Sad Away, from March 23, 2025, Clavering writes about seeing his own struggles reflected in the character of Frank from The White Lotus, played by Sam Rockwell. In probably the most notorious scene from that season, if not that series, Frank relays an endless 1,000 nights of relentless debauchery against the native women of Thailand.
Well, you know, I moved here because, I had to leave the States, but I picked Thailand because I always had a thing for Asian girls, you know.
The details are sordid, and the scene itself is worth pausing to go watch on your own. But in summary, Frank is an American fugitive living comfortably in Thailand, and an old friend of one of the main characters who listens attentively as Frank walks him through what he's been up to since they were last together.
You know, after about 1,000 nights like that, you start to lose it. I started wondering, where am I going with this? Why do I feel this need to fuck all these women?
He purchases the services of sex workers, having increasingly intense hookups with them until finally becoming inured to normal sex. He starts dressing up like the girls and then cross-dressing to pick up men himself, using mirrors to watch himself being sodomized by men who look like him while he's dressed up like a Thai woman.
Send this message to a friend who's sad.
The scene is about much, much more than a man being unable to find satisfaction through worldly pursuits, playing off Buddhist culture and lore to make a series of layered statements. It's complex, to say the least, but an important piece of the puzzle is the inference that Frank is spiritually alone through the exercise and afterward. Thai women are not only an unfulfilling meal, but ultimately not real in their own right to Frank. They are an ethnic costume, a skin he can strip off and wear to approximate what's actually valuable to a man like him. The darkest aspect of the scene, however, is the reaction from Walton Goggins' character, Rick. Praised at a superficial level by fans, Rick listens in rapt, patient attention, never judging or reacting in such a way as to infer disgust or reprehension at his friend. And, while that's nice, what's really put up on the screen is two white, wealthy American men discussing one man's attempt at self-actualization through bottoming out by exploiting prostitutes that he doesn't actually see as human. The audience, through Rick's reaction, is led to breathe a sigh of relief in this patient exchange between two friends, all of which happened through the mass exploitation of Thai people, especially Thai women, by wealthy foreigners. It's a scene that holds up not a mirror to the audience, but rather a picture within a mirror. A deceptive moment of understanding and pathos, hiding a horrific and possibly unanswerable injustice. And Clavering falls for this deception hook, line, and sinker. What struck me wasn't the sleaze or the sadness. He writes in You Can't Fuck the Sad Away. It was the recognition that I, too, have chased selfhood through others. That I've told myself stories about how this next sexual encounter might awaken something in me, or quiet something in me, or let me feel, briefly, like someone worth wanting. And that it has left me, more times than I can count, naked in rooms I don't recognize, with people who don't know me, feeling like I've just stepped out of my own body. Clavering fundamentally fails to realize that Frank's, and as we'll find, his own, search for self-actualization is not worth the harm it's caused. Both Frank and Clavering portray this immiserating sexual Ouroboros as an ongoing act of self-destruction, as opposed to just destruction. While this is all well and good for Frank, a fictional character, Clavering is a real person, treating the women in his life like disposable objects. Continuing with his blog, I know what it is like to chase that same feeling, to convince yourself that each new sexual encounter might restore something in you, your worth, your masculinity, your power, your desirability, only to feel numb as soon as it starts, or worse, repulsed, trapped in a body going through the motions while your mind floats above, wondering why you're here again, wondering why this doesn't feel like anything, wondering if it ever really did. The difference between me and Frank is that I'm still in the middle of it, still trying to parse what is desire and what is compulsion, what is yearning and what is self-sabotage. I've sent messages to people I don't know, made plans I didn't want to keep, found myself in rooms I never meant to walk into. I've done it while telling myself it was normal, or fun, or brave. I've called it empowerment, flirtation, freedom. But I've also looked at my own reflection after, and felt nothing but disgust. Clavering's detachment from humanity is shown to be a lifelong and obvious aspect of his existence, as evidenced by this remembered exchange between Clavering and his father, recounted in the Post once a week from June 30th, 2024. I think you might be autistic, is what he said in the story I retell myself. But the truth is, I suggested it to him, following varied bouts of watching 19-year-olds self-diagnosing themselves online. Even I am not impervious to such suggestion. I might be on the spectrum, maybe, I tell my father, as a convenient scapegoat for some slightly uncomfortable comments he's made about my state of being. That may be self-conscious mischaracterization. I took it as a comment on my being. What he meant, maybe, was that I was disinterested. Don't take this the wrong way, he began. There is no surer guarantee that I'm going to take something the wrong way than if you tell me which way to take it. Specifically, not the wrong one. This is all to say, my dad has been a good dad. An all-around pretty solid guy, so it hurts to hear him say, Alex, you're smart and interesting. You just seem generally disinterested in people. These motives of apathy, detachment, and unrelenting desire for an extrinsic sense of meaning repeat throughout Clavering's vanishing points, and are further reinforced by tweets from Clavering that have resurfaced following the scandal. Most of these are screenshots and undated, but all fit well within the parameters of Clavering's character, and none so far have been refuted. I got to a point where I was fucking so many people from behind in my bed, I had an out-of-body experience, and I directly connected with Leonardo DiCaprio wearing his sound-canceling headphones as he bangs, and I finally understood. Perpetually alone. Peter Pan. Never grow up. And fucking one of the hottest women you've ever seen in your life and feeling nothing. And someone just asked me if they could set me up, and without even seeing the pics, I said pass. I can't do it anymore, man. Can I be so serious with you? Not once in my life has someone tried to set me up with someone hot, and I just think I need to let people know I am not a good person. Clavering made a widely panned first attempt at an apology after the first accusations were made, posted, and rapidly deleted. Only screenshots remain. Juxtaposed against the recollective clarity of his blogs, the apology feels confused in both a narrative and tactical sense. It's painfully clear from the first paragraph that Clavering knows he cannot deliver an appropriate apology, but as a matter of form and order, an apology is urgently required. This is not my full apology, and it isn't meant to be. I still need some time to figure out how to do that and what it looks like. He starts off, before muddling through a mea culpa that neither reiterates nor admits any material facts of the accusation. Much of the apology is riddled with this bog-standard political non-speak, acknowledging feelings as opposed to facts, but between these boilerplate moments you can see something blooming in Clavering's mind. Take this next paragraph. No, I have not threatened anyone. I saw something to that effect being said. I do believe some of what's being said is genuinely libel and defamation. I am not, however, interested in arguing with people, or suing, or anything like that. It's also entirely possible there were miscommunications and conversations misread, but I take full responsibility for making people uncomfortable. In this paragraph alone, we cycle wildly from an outright refutation of an accusation, likely referencing a dual tweet from @MarinaDoveXO that reads, "A content creator threatened me saying if they ever hurt me, I would be powerless, because more people like them and it would be so easy to call me a liar and ruin my life." This first tweet, from July 19th, 2025, is followed up by the clarification on July 28th, 2025. This is about loloverruled. The refutation of this, or possibly another accusation of violence Clavering doesn't specify, is followed up by the vague potential legal action in the form of a libel suit, which is then followed by an assurance from Clavering that he wouldn't actually pursue such action. From here, he cycles back to admitting there could be some culpability on his part and ends with taking full responsibility for making people uncomfortable, which is hardly sufficient to describe the severity of the lightest provable accusations against him. But that's not the most important part. Following an admission that he doesn't know what form his career will take following this situation, he suggests that he may never come back to the internet in the same capacity again, and that he hopes people will give him the opportunity to make amends. Also that he's always available to listen and talk if anyone wants that. Clavering clarifies this behavior hasn't been in line with his character, which is clearly not remotely true given how he talks about himself, and says he's seeking to better himself. This leads to the final and most interesting paragraph of the apology. Accountability is a weird thing, Clavering writes. You really can only take accountability for yourself. If you want to pretend something isn't a problem, you can try and weather any storm that comes and pretend it isn't real. I don't want to be that way. In the very least, I would like to show what accountability can look like. Really cannot express how sorry I am to all. The line, "in the very least, I would like to show what accountability can look like," is possibly one of the darkest lines Clavering has ever written, which is impressive having read through most of his Substack. To explain, let's contrast it with a passage from the Vanishing Points post, Epigenetic Fuckboy, from April 27th, 2025. In this post, Clavering recounts visiting his father in his Stepford-esque West Palm Beach retirement community for the man's 80th birthday. I had come to Florida looking for something just as ridiculous. A clean answer, a neat explanation for all the ways I still come up short. I thought if I asked the right questions, pressed hard enough, I would walk away with something clear, something that could explain the gaps in me. I wanted a patsy. In juxtaposition, these two thoughts show us Clavering reaching an epiphany as he completes his first apology. This situation is, despite its minor career setbacks, an opportunity to finally have something he's been denied his entire life. In fact, the one thing a lifetime of privilege, access, and sedentary existence will deny you: struggle. You see, Clavering's life, as is always the case with the rich, has no actual purpose. There are no struggles to overcome, merely obstacles, tests, placements, interviews, meetings, questions of consent, moments of inconvenience. The proletarian is born into struggle, forced to struggle or grow weak, be beaten, be broken, be desecrated, be killed. The struggle does not reward. The struggle does not recede. The class struggles Clavering speaks on as a celebrity socialist influencer are not, never have been, and never could be his. Returning to Clavering's blog post once a week, he tries to reconcile the similarities between himself and his father through facile political details. But then again, who the fuck am I to be disinterested? It's still lazy on my part. I'm still sitting here with you at the strange sushi restaurant in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm not better than you. Sure, my politics are better, maybe. I've probably done a little more political activism, or made more sincere attempts to do public interest type work. But we're both sitting here eating from the same sushi boat, and it really is shaped like a boat. I think what I've been struggling with is balancing out these contradictions, watching the world burn, knowing it's happening, having to function as normally as possible in the center of the dying empire. It feels like being in a parapet somewhere near the courtyard where Nero is playing his fiddle while Rome burns. I can hear the crack of the fire, but the fiddle is nice. And it certainly feels like no matter what I do, Rome is going to fucking burn. We see here that Clavering's political interests are just that. Interests. An affect of character that differentiates him from his father, but not so much as to remove him from Nero's metaphorical tower. Clavering's politic exists without class solidarity because he is not of our class, and he knows that. Better politics are not, as they are for the worker, a matter of life and death, but rather a pastime, a mark of personal measure against which he might compare himself to his peers, who are not, never have been, and never will be us. But this class distinction is irrelevant in Clavering's eyes, as he articulates in his Vanishing Points post, Waiting for Hassan. Because Hassan Piker is rich. He drives an electric Porsche that I personally dislike, but does surprisingly have a nice amount of legroom. Now, are there different kinds of rich people? I think so. Does it matter? Is Hassan a Che Guevara or a Vladimir Lenin? No, he isn't, and he doesn't claim to be. But undoubtedly the pair, men I think about often when I look at myself in the morning mirror and lament my personal cowardice, came from a background of wealth and privilege. Often this is the case of the most revolutionary figures in history. Some of the most important among them were educated, from a well-off background, and at one point or another had life-altering experiences that led them down a path of no return. This is not to say, of course, that I believe Hassan will be camping out with gorillas in the Sierra Maestra anytime soon. But I would have loved to see him cackling with his infectious laugh while covering the news of the Bay of Pigs in real time. Just as with the women he victimizes, all other workers are similarly not truly people to Clavering, because there can be no solidarity between classes. The gulf is as beyond reconciliation as fiction and nonfiction. To Clavering, things like Palestine, workers' rights, solidarity, fair pay, equity, are all as real as Mordor or Squid Game. He can become invested, he can participate, and he can seem to care, but ultimately he's just taking it all for a ride, like a borrowed bicycle. Socialist politics are a distraction he can abandon at any time, because he is still economically and socially isolated from the struggle. It will not, cannot, and never has been his. This is most evident in a clip of him and Hassan at a protest. Completely overcome with emotion, Clavering breaks down crying and nearly too choked up to speak, can only articulate the event as simply inspiring. And this inspiration is overwhelming him.
I don't know. Watch out. Sorry. It's very inspiring to be here. I don't know. I don't know.
Don't zoom up on his face, dude.
He got close.
Listen.
He got close.
Listen. This is what it's about, okay? Fuck all the haters.
This was a fairly well-known moment in Hassan's community, and following the allegations, questions were raised about how real Clavering's tears were. It's impossible to ever really know, but my suspicion is, if Alex Clavering ever cries for anyone, it's only ever for himself.
Therapy. I don't need to go to therapy. I've been to therapy.
I don't know how you have such soulful eyes and still look dead inside. It's fucking wild.
Hassan was joking about somebody opening up a hospital to have
so
sex
mean,
with paralyzed
I'm
women, so I made a crass comment. Oh my
You
god.
look very
It was about
handsome.
fucking, what's his face? The British guy, the serial rapist.
Fuck, what's his name? Jimmy Seville.
Oh my god.
Are you familiar? That's one guy that you can't even defend, I think. I feel like if you in a court of law, it's like
I could defend anybody.
You could defend Jimmy Seville.
I don't know the story. I mean, what do
He
you
has
mean?
raped people from the age of like 3 to like 83.
He had a lawyer, didn't he?
I don't know.
A dedicated
No,
fan of Hassan Piker may believe, or more accurately, desire, the existence of some contradiction between the portrait herein painted of Clavering and Piker's desire to associate with such an individual. This is because to entertain the possibility that Piker may have known of and even tolerated or commiserated with Clavering's worst personality traits is also to entertain the possibility that Piker fed into or even shared the same appetites as well.
My pants. Lamau coming. I'm coming. Ed Hasanabi currently coming. You can't see me. I'm coming. I'm so hard right now. Go ahead. Defend your. What is your client? What does your client have to say?
Are these the only chats that I've ever done? Well, let's see what they said. Feisure said, "I am sorry." Can you go down? I am sorry. You were very hot that day, and I will refrain next time. I mean, there you have it, folks. Haven't you ever your pants?
No.
When you were watching the Hasanabi broadcast? Whomst among us hasn't had a coming in their pants? Have I in my pants watching the Hasanabi broadcast?
If you say yes, this guy is free.
I've in my pants at the Hasanabi broadcast, unbeknownst to everybody here. So I think that we need to unban him.
We cover a lot of horrifying stuff here. What part made you come in your pants? Was it the horrifying surface-to-air missiles that targeted a commercial airliner, or was it Israel-Palestine? Which part made you come your pants? Be specific.
You know what it was? It was the joy, the elation of giving gifts to the community. That was orgasmic. That made me come.
Ew, okay, I'm banned.
I said earlier, Piker claimed in the short time he allotted to disavowing Clavering's actions that he didn't know anything about what Clavering was up to. However, both Piker's own career and his time together with Clavering paint a different picture entirely. Piker's first problematic friend in the streaming space was Stephen Destiny Bennell, already a mainstay name in the space with his own host of controversies by the time he and Piker started regularly interacting in 2018. Their professional relationship would sour and eventually explode into ongoing hostilities following a massive blowout argument over Bennell's use of the N-word in private.
And everything.
As soon as you say, I say the N-word, it's one thing that's taken out of context.
That's a separate. That's a separate argument, though. We're not talking about that right now.
No, Destiny, you're misunderstanding the point. Okay?
No, I'm not. You're misunderstanding. We can have this argument. I'll talk about this.
It's literally undoing all of the things that you have done.
I disagree, but that's a separate argument. Listen.
That's been my argument since day one.
No, it's not. You just earlier told Trihex that if I say it, I have the clip of you saying that just because I say that privately, it's like dehumanizing the black people. So you don't agree with that.
The N-word in and of itself, in the way that I have seen you use it, that has been leaked, and that I've known to see.
And now you're going back to like the specific one-off instead of the formula.
Because that's not, no, it's not a formula. That is literally why people are upset. Okay?
No, it's not.
But before that, the two were amicable and extremely friendly, doing IRL streams and other collaborations together.
You're right there, dude.
Okay, chill, calm down.
What?
Be in the photo with us.
Why do you want me to be in the photo?
Fine.
Damn.
No.
Because you're not dressed like you want.
Why are you gonna just fucking stiff him like that, dude? That was rude as fuck.
Because they didn't want you to be here. That's why.
Oh, you're like standing up for me.
Solidarity.
It's not gonna hurt my feeling, brother.
No, it's fine.
I got 12K viewers. Fuck them, dude. I don't give a fuck.
K-Comrade, dude. Hey, get some K-Comrades in the chat, boys.
K-Comrades.
Where's your car?
Okay, this guy's gonna drive us.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to get a drink, though? Just one? No, you shouldn't if you're driving.
No, I can have one drink.
No, because you'll be drunk. That's how one drink works.
And you drive here.
If you're black and you drink one time, you get fucked by the cops.
What are you talking about?
I'm serious. I get shot all the time.
Okay. Chill, dude. Holy shit.
No,
sorry.
stop, dude. Come on, dude.
Why are you so homophobic?
It's not that I'm homophobic. You're like, I don't give a fuck about like being touchy-feely or whatever, but like you went from like, hey, what's up, to like literally jerking me off. Like obviously I'm not jerking you off. I know, but you're like right there.
The word literally wrong.
Okay, figuratively jerking me off. I know.
People are gonna leave. Here in America, they're gonna go over here to he has to work out. He needs a lot of fucking calories to power these muscles. Can I touch you? To power these muscles. Andy, do you fucking understand? He's gonna power
This is memes for fucking years, dude.
Piker famously remarked he could probably arrange sex partners for Bunnell if they lived together at the time.
Destiny was my roommate. I get him laid all the time.
Since then, Bunnell's sexual abuse, harassment, and illicit non-consensual sharing and recording of his partners, both long-term and casual, have become public record, with every year seeming to unearth some new depravity.
I shouldn't tell this because I'm gonna get fucking arrested. Or Child Protective Services. I used to be part of this horrible thing called the Bro Squad. And for whatever fucking reason, this kid decides to fucking take his pants off and fucking wiggle his 8-year-old dick on stream. I can't even believe it.
This in mind, one would expect that Piker ought to, if anything, be far less likely to bring another person like Destiny into his orbit, if not his actual home. That, if such a thing happened again, it might be more indicative of a preference on Piker's part than a singular lapse of judgment. Piker's first stream with Clavering in May of 2023 has them go over some user-recommended tweets to warn Hassan about Clavering.
Asked if I got off. I had to break it to him that he just to my leg. This is what
know.
I think of when men act like they're equipped to make laws about women's bodies.
I didn't know I was gonna come on stream at that time.
Why didn't you guys show me this beforehand? I would not have let this man into my home, okay?
Anyway, yeah, but
Black Cut 13, thank you for the 5, get the subs. Another one. Uh-oh.
Oh, don't.
What is this? There's only one way to determine if Hassan is a true comrade. He has to kiss me on the lips. What the is this? What is going on? Because sometimes I worry because like TikTok is like a very different space where people kind of walk on eggshells a little bit, and even on Twitter people kind of walk on eggshells a little bit. This is not like that at all. You can just like let loose. It doesn't matter. People will be very understanding of the jokes that you're making and not take it super seriously.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel that. I think I'm also just conscious about what I say and what's happening.
I'm not. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll say it for you. Everything I'm saying,
reviewed
Alex
in jest, they regardless set a hypersexualized precedent for their relationship, and the mass allegations of sexual impropriety on Clavering's part just over 2 years later. There are plenty of odd interactions between the two, now indelibly colored by the accusations against Clavering, but the most damning for Piker is in the April 6th, 2025 video. Hassan and special guests react to the massive hands-off protests, Hassanabi Reacts, featuring loloverruled, from the Hassan Reactions YouTube channel, in which Clavering seems to bring in a girl he's been DMing on stream to meet Hassan, and New York City Councilman Chiaose, to whom the girl is clearly a stranger. She later reveals she's a Hassan superfan, a 57-month subscriber, and says hello to chat and that she's normally a chatter.
It's like that fat circular thing. It has like...
Where are you going?
I'll be back.
I think he's
getting his friend.
He didn't like that we were not Chinese
enough. Sorry, we're not Chinese enough for you.
No, it's like kind of up.
Yeah.
He's undermining both of our Chinese status.
Yeah, it's all good. It happens all the time.
Yeah, he's like, this is what a real Chinese looks like. That's what he's gonna do.
Hello. Said Chinese friend.
No.
It's nice to meet you.
I'm sorry that you are being introduced to us
it's
under
so wild that he's
horrible circumstances.
Hey, what? It's fine. Hi. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
I'm Ashley.
Ashley?
Yeah.
When did you find out that Alex was a race realist?
I'm not. Recently, actually.
Like, was this the moment?
Yeah.
Sorry that you're being tokenized.
I'm a really big fan.
Oh my god.
Your like work.
Thank you. I
You're the
appreciate
reason
that.
why I'm not gonna have to pay a broker's fee in like when
In June, yeah, I hope
in
you-
the summer. So
yeah.
I'm like, really big fan of the work that you do.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
And the
that.
public service.
I bet their sales like skyrocketed after
Hi,
that.
chat. I'm you sometimes, so it's good to be on this end. Yeah. Wow.
Ashley is an actress.
I am. Yeah, I'm an actress, and now I live here.
Amazing.
LA.
How long have you lived here for?
About a year now.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Stragget stream.
All right, I gotta try this baklava too.
Yeah.
Which one do you want? Do you want one?
I had one already.
I'm good.
Okay.
Alex
I had
had
Diet
3.
Coke for breakfast.
Yeah, Alex
well,
already-
it was. I didn't pay for it. It was. Well, I know. It was. Yeah, I didn't purchase it. My boyfriend stole it from work and then brought it to me.
Wait, what?
Diet Coke.
Oh, work. We love a Diet Coke.
Girl, the boycott. I know.
Girl, the boycott.
I know, girl, the boycott.
Are we boycotting?
I know.
You're cooked. Coca-Cola's boycott on the
Yo,
boycott list?
yeah.
Yeah.
Your camera work is really bad.
What the hell?
Oh
my God, everyone-
Yesterday.
I was only on it for like 30 seconds.
And it was shaky the whole time.
What happened?
They always complain every time I have the camera. Everybody in the
Really?
chat.
Are you? You are like, you shake sometimes.
Yeah, I have the shakes.
You have
Bro,
the
they're
shakes,
cooking
okay.
you.
Who? Me?
No.
Oh,
Alex.
okay. It's because of your what?
Nothing.
Oh.
Just kidding. Alcohol.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
No.
Oh.
I'm so. Everybody is mean to me all the time.
It's not mean.
I'm a really big fan of your Substack.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's go.
Or do you pay for your
Substack.
subscription?
There's no way you pay for a sub. Do you pay for a sub?
If you do, you pay his rent.
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
There's no
I'm
way.
sorry.
For dining, but a lot of the language that they were including in the bill, made it very restrictive for restaurants to do outdoor dining. When outdoor dining first came to the scene, it wasn't legal, right? Like restaurants
But it was
were
during
just
COVID, right?
It was during COVID, and restaurants were just being creative, and it really created some beautiful outdoor dining structures. But there was no law that existed that legalized them. So when some council members were introducing this bill to try to legalize it, they were putting these different guidelines, and that made it more difficult to do outdoor dining. But for me as a council member who's like supportive of outdoor dining, it was either vote for this bill that would create the structure, or outdoor dining will be banned altogether. So that's all in all to say that, I'm hoping that with other council members what happened?
Oh, that's your
Don't stop it. This is really embarrassing. Please don't.
57-month subscriber? You're a 57-month subscriber? That's crazy.
I've given you a lot of my money, Hassan.
Ooh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hide it. Chat, please don't. Oh my god. Mute
Alex,
now.
that's messed up, dude. Why'd you do that to her?
You exposing me. This is
That's
so
like
rude.
something you revealed to me later in private.
It's honestly,
Wait, that's a good thing though. Aren't you you want people who do that, right?
like, I
don't care.
I'm like not parasocial with it, even
Yeah.
though I'm like Hassan probably makes up 50% of my YouTube for you videos.
Though they're just meeting for the first time, Hassan clearly knows she's being brought up by Clavering. As Pica remarks, he and Osei aren't Chinese enough for Clavering. It's a bizarre, and at least to me uncomfortable, stretch of video. And while there's no immediate proof anything untoward happened between Clavering and this woman, it should be said the video was posted just 2 weeks after Clavering wrote a Substack article identifying with a monologue about having a dehumanizing fetish for Asian women.
I always had a thing for Asian girls,
In my honest opinion, if you still don't believe Piker was aware of or even participatory in Clavering's behavior by this point, you don't want to be convinced and never will be. And for that specific reason, you, the viewer, and Piker both hold a degree of blame for everything that Clavering and the next Clavering have done and will do. It's no secret that online leftism has been deeply poisoned by cults of personality who put the welfare and personal vendettas of individual streamers above the causes their communities proclaim to support. And that further, these petty personality wars are often fought at the outright expense of the women in these figures' orbits, while the men themselves gain money, clout, and reputation. Thus, we are brought full circle to Piker's admonition against discussing this topic, turning it into drama, lest it be used against him and undo all his good works.
And then past that point, now there's apparently a bunch of people that he was literally in the DMs of all over, all up and down Twitter, like leftist Twitter accounts, public defenders, and even women in this community. Luckily, we have a pretty awesome community of adult women who can take care of themselves, but it seems like he was just sending unsolicited DMs and being creepy and pushy and a pest overall. Yeah, it's obviously completely unacceptable. I think he said that he's going to outpatient therapy now, but I don't know the extent of what's going on, like I said. But I hope everyone is all right. Anyway, but outside of that, I don't know what else needs to be said, you know. I assume that people will try to make try to tie this back to myself somehow and like actually turn it into drama when this is not drama. This is serious shit. But I'm going to obviously continue talking about the news. And you should also lock in as well. Don't eat the bait. I think a lot of people also don't understand that things that other communities try to like elevate and in a specific direction when they're like, you know, serious allegations, serious accusations, but when people try to like take serious allegations and accusations and like turn them into like content for themselves, right? Like that's only as that can only turn into drama or content for clicks if you allow it. Like we have the power and capacity to turn certain serious subjects into I guess like content or drama or anything like that. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, or they take it where they will entertain it in the same exact way.
My only warning for anybody defending that standpoint is this. Gambling the future of your cause on the shoulders of one man is a fine way to find what holds together when Atlas shrugs. And Piker is no god. In fact, Piker has already, since these allegations have dropped against Clavering, uncritically platformed a racist pedophile from the commentary community out of sheer desperation for a win against the Destiny community and Orbiter sphere.
Why not ignore these morons? The reason why I wanted to cover this specifically is because I noticed that this is happening within Destiny's own orbit. And that's the only reason why I'm covering it, because like these guys, including this guy who's covering it, including like this community that's covering this, are a lot of people that are in this other, like on the apolitical / liberal side of the internet. And this is the first time that I've seen people on that side be like, wait a minute, these motherfuckers have been lying to us all along about Hassan's positions.
This individual, Queeman, possible real name Joseph Barton, has a long history of defending and joking about lolicon online.
No one jokes about being a pedophile.
Yes, they do.
That funny. No one wants. No
Yes,
one
they
finds it funny
do.
for people to
What?
have to joke.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they literally. That's incredibly funny. It's incredibly funny to joke about being a pedophile. Actually, it's incredibly funny.
Now, you might think Queeman's just being edgy and contrarian for the sake of being an edgy contrarian internet persona or something. But he spends an awfully long time defending the thing Nuxtaku was doing that started all this, where he'd do YouTube videos accessible to kids no less, where he'd watch and react to lolly hentai videos. And here, Queeman then pulls some data completely out of his ass, source, trust me bro, doesn't do so much as cite anything at all, but he asserts that actually, Nuxtaku having this video series where he would watch lolly stuff with Muta and his other collaborators would actually make him less likely to ever really molest a kid or something. And if you say otherwise, or if you still think that watching lolly hentai is wrong, then he thinks you're just virtue signaling. And even worse, you're not even trusting the BS lolicon science he's just made up. Get a load of this.
That if someone consumes lolicon and is able to be open, like not open about it as in do it openly, but like talk to people about it, that they're less likely to offend. And if they watch lolicon and they don't talk to anyone about it, then they are more likely to offend. So if someone is like when someone has a paraphilia, if they have people that they can discuss it with and talk about the urges they're feeling, they are less likely to feel pigeonholed, trapped, and end up acting on whatever urge, whatever usually either self-detrimental or harmful to others urge that they're experiencing. That generally tends to lower the risks of that. I thought Xanderhal was a data guy. It was all about uncomfortable data. I guess not, though. I guess he just wants to virtue signal like a fucking loser.
This is how Queeman approached the issue of Muta flip-flopping.
Dude, these people are so fucking weak. It's crazy. It's so fucking... Why do they get so antsy? Why do they get so antsy about being called like pedo defender? Just because like maybe they have like a stance that some fucking retard on Twitter doesn't like.
Queeman asks, why would someone get so antsy about being called a pedophile defender? Now I would have thought it would be obvious, because being a pedophile defender is a bad thing.
Steven sexually predated on someone. Does that make him a sexual predator?
I'm not going with your fucking gay ass lame fucking layman.
No one is destiny. No one is destiny.
Okay.
But Vosh is a pedophile. But Vosh is a pedophile, though. Vosh and food shops are pedophiles. He'll use... Dude, this is hilarious, dude. You want the legal definition of sexual predator for Destiny, but when food shops watches Lolly, it's not the clinical definition of pedophile, it's just, you're a pedophile. That's interesting, isn't it, Connor? That's interesting. When it's Destiny, it's a completely different set of standards.
I was listening to a Queeman stream the other day, and I heard Queeman in a very calm voice say, if you're jerking off to cartoon children, there's a higher than average chance that you probably have proclivities that are antisocial and you might be a pedophile.
Yep. 100%.
I heard that from Queeman.
Yeah, I wouldn't state it as fact though. I wouldn't use it as my definition of pedophile does not encompass just people who say they look at Lolly.
It's so easy.
Here are some of the conversations he has with his friends.
Yeah, and then I do this. And then I say, do you hear what that is, motherfucker, if you don't quiet down? And then she announces her address in the VC and tells me to come find her. And I'm like, whoa, Jesus Christ. I did right. Yeah, she announced her address. She told me to come find her.
I can't say they did anything wrong.
You said you would rape and kill her. Yeah,
I did not say I would rape and kill Shellboner. Pull up the message. I have the message. Where is it?
Rape in there too.
And Round responds, yeah, I want you doxxed, killed, and raped, but you don't hear me flapping my lips about it, retard.
That feels like exactly what I just said. Huh.
Well, no, he didn't say he was going to dox, kill, and rape her. Yeah, no, he said he wants her doxed, killed, and raped. He wouldn't necessarily do it.
Yeah, I don't know what difference that makes. You just want it to happen.
I'm not going to be doing
whether it's
harm.
you or anyone else, you don't mind who does it, but you want it to be done. I'm sorry, that doesn't make it look less demented. It's just.
It's not a threat.
Of our boy Queeman doing his Willie impression, okay?
Master Bono, you sure do read mighty well, Master Bono. Explain the tenant media scandal to me, Master Bono.
I wonder, kind of like Morale, right? With those texts earlier, the sex.
Well, no, that's fine. That's like Morale engaged in consensual race play. Totally consensual race play with an adult.
Play?
Like, yeah, of course. And this was it. This is one of his lines. That's what he said. Absolutely disgusting.
A black woman that he's sexting. A black woman that he was sexting.
That's awesome.
They all love rape.
You were in a VC for 3 or 4 hours getting mocked to fuck by that legacy guy for being an annoying spurg who loved the sound of his own voice. There were like 10 people in there. You're like, I don't know how you can... I don't remember. If you don't remember, that's seriously concerning. You were there for like 4 hours getting raped. The biggest victim of Reddit and Kiwi Farms, the biggest victim of progressivism, he's the most raped man alive, okay? The most raped man alive. I said, I made the e-rapist argument. I said, e-rape is a funny, expressive term that you can logically defend. to describe what Destiny did. And I always made it clear, it's a funny, rhetorical term for the sake of argument to point out that the level of condemnation you should be giving is much higher than the level of condemnation that people are giving. Everyone was downplaying it. But it's obviously a rhetorical flair, and if you're not fucking retarded, you can see that. Yeah, exactly. As if Chud wouldn't just tell me to get raped if I was saying some shit like that. Yeah, exactly. It's just so crazy. Who is this convincing? Why would you guys admit the private convos you have caused been like mean girls? Well, Tommy C admitted it. Tommy C admitted it.
Like, I'm not like there fucking, oh, Queeman, we got to fucking rape the cabal. You do that. Like, bro, I don't fucking, I'm too busy with my fucking life to worry about all this fucking, intricate internet snake shit that I'm apparently doing.
And Piker doesn't care, just so long as he can get a win over Benel.
This is the first time I've encountered this person, but it makes me feel like these guys are basically realizing after years and years of this like negative framing, this incredibly negative framing, that maybe the negative framing wasn't correct. Maybe regurgitating Sex Pestini's stances are not the most appropriate way to go about this. Maybe we should reconsider the way we have broached the subject, because hold on. Doors open. Doors open. Shower, I protect you everywhere. On hate TikToks, I defend you. And on IG and on Twitch and 80s chat, I defend you against Tater Tots and against Clix's chat. Even though I don't watch him, I just have very 16-year-old humor. Sorry. That's why I was defending Gideon. I will unfollow Gideon and keep my loyalty to you. Please unban me. Your chat has cute leftist girls.
It's true.
Keep banned. This kid was.
It's fairly easy to find clips of internet lefties of all stripes decrying liberal politicians for paying lip service to important leftist issues and then failing to act when the situation dictates. Which is why it's all the more embarrassing someone vested with as much power and influence as Hassan Piker performs the same old song and dance. When trans creator Natalie Wynn, known online as ContraPoints, was harangued into giving a statement on the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Yeah, I probably caused the ContraPoints meltdown and her exposure as a mask-off Zionist. Let me show you what happened. It all started when a fan asked ContraPoints, "Hey, are you gonna make an Israel-Palestine video?" And she replied and said, "Never! Y'all would fucking hate it!" And I saw that, and so I took a screenshot, posted on Twitter, and I said, "Is this ContraPoints coming out in favor of Israel's genocide in Gaza?"
Piker and other large leftist internet creators, the largest of whom are almost exclusively cis men, mass-released videos and retrospectives on Wynn calling her out on her incorrect takes. Their audiences relished in what honestly amounted to a week's worth of patronizing condescension and performative cruelty, and those creators ate high on the hog, picking Wynn's career down to the bone for content. There's actually something of a conspiracy in how that media cycle amped up, but that's content for another video. Suffice to say, when you compare the reaction to Wynn's insufficient Twitter post on Israel-Palestine to the reaction to Alex Clavering's sex pest activity, you see a massive change in the view counts and the figures responding to these issues. Hassan effectively shut down conversation on a problem he literally contributed to and has caused immediate, non-hypothetical real-world harm, essentially to maintain energy for his pet project of attacking the last sex pest he was friends with. And if you hate Natalie Wynn for her Palestine comments, bully for you. But you have to keep just as much of that energy in reserve to call out people who are using their proximity to your cause to pressure women into sexual situations. I feel like it's not a brave or exceptional stance to say Palestinian liberation can and should be achieved without permitting the lowest expressions of misogyny at the highest levels of organization. To that end, here's a list of simple, no-cost actions that will return the situation to a sense of equity. To fix this current issue and put a damper on it ever happening again, Hassan Piker must review on stream every single accusation levied against his friend Alex Clavering, and offer at least the women involved in the initial accusations a chance to come on to the Hassanabi livestream and air their grievances. Further, he needs to publicly and explicitly announce a permanent and irrevocable ban on Clavering appearing on his livestream, and a ban on any content involving Clavering outside the context of the allegations. Any affiliates of Clavering who have in any way offered him a chance to expand the platform he used to engage in these actions also need to issue an immediate and exhaustive disavowal of his actions and whatever part they may have played in them, no matter how minor. Any affiliates of Clavering who have in any way offered him a chance to expand the platform he used to engage in these actions also need to issue an immediate and exhaustive disavowal of his actions and whatever part they may have played in them, no matter how minor. To Alex Clavering, make a record of every potentially unethical message chain you've created between yourself and people you may have harmed to be turned over to an attorney of record who can provide that evidence to any of the aggrieved parties on request. After that, terminate in full every social media account you've ever used to engage in these activities. Cease all public support and participation in any leftist causes, and retire from the public eye permanently. I'm not going to ask you to apologize, because I literally don't care how sorry you are. But if you watch this, I'd ask you not reach out to the people you bothered with your disgraceful and selfish behavior. The issue of contention between you and others is that you talked to them at all. And unless they chose to reinitiate conversation with you, I believe it's probably best you leave them alone. Finally, the audiences and communities surrounding these figures need to grow up and start taking account of yourselves. These parasocial cults of personality need to be treated like the festering anti-worker cancer they are, and either treated or excised. They are, at best, immediately alienating to normal people, and at worst, ticking time bombs to the inevitable controversy that will be used to malign leftists and make life harder for workers. Ultimately, the choice is yours, whether you're going to grow up and see this situation for what it is, or inevitably fail every cause you hold close to your heart. Like and subscribe if you like this content and want to see more of it. Until next time, as always, stay safe out there.